Okay, I call to order the meeting of the Upper Moreland Township for April 7th, 2025. Please join me in a moment of silence. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pat, could you take roll, please?
Certainly. Ward 1?
Present.
Ward 2?
Present.
Ward 3?
Present.
Ward 4? Ward 5? Ward 6? Ward 7?
Here.
Commissioner, 4 commissioners are here this evening. 3 commissioners, Commissioner McFatrick, Commissioner Mullen, and Commissioner Benvenuti are not present this evening.
Thank you. Okay, first on the agenda, we have a presentation. It's a proclamation for National Library Week. Whereas libraries offer the opportunity for everyone to connect with others. Sorry. Okay, here we go. To connect with others, learn new skills, and pursue their passions, no matter where they are in life's journey. Libraries have long served as trusted institutions, often the heart of their cities, towns, schools, and academic campuses. Whereas libraries are an essential public good and fundamental institution in democratic I'm having trouble reading this. Democratic societies, working to improve society, protect the right of education and literacy, and promote the free exchange of information and ideas for all. Whereas libraries adapt to the ever-changing needs of their communities, developing and expanding collections, programs, and services that are as diverse as the population they serve. Whereas library workers provide support in developing the digital literacy skills needed to navigate the online world, which 21st century information exists. Libraries are accessible and inclusive places that promote a sense of local connection, advancing civic engagement and shared community goals. Whereas getting a library card is a financially literate action, libraries play a pivotal role in economic development by providing resources and support for job seekers, entrepreneurs, and small businesses, thus contributing to local prosperity and growth. Whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers are joining library supporters and advocates across the nation to celebrate National Library Week. Now therefore be it proclaimed National Library Week, April 6th to the 12th, 2025. During this week, I encourage all residents to visit their library and celebrate the adventures and opportunities it unlocks for us every day. This proclamation is presented by the Upper Moreland Township Board of Commissioners on the 7th day of April, 2025. And can I ask Kathy Gilmore to please come up, our librarian, our director of the library. Kathy exemplifies all these things, and I thank you for what you do for the library and our community. Thanks for your patience. Okay, next on the agenda, we have a public hearing, public hearing number 1973 to receive public comments regarding the conditional use application submitted by JERC Partners 39 LLC and JG Petrucci Company Incorporated to convert approximately 9,000 square feet of space on the second floor, originally designed for medical office space, to 10 one-bedroom/studio apartments for an overall total of 285 apartment units. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll just, before Mr. Davis will represent the applicant, I'm just going to go ahead and mark some exhibits and explain our procedures here this evening. So tonight is a conditional use hearing to amend a previous conditional use from 2017. Mr. Davis will explain why and why the applicant is going ahead and doing that. Conditional use hearing is akin to a zoning hearing where the Board of Commissioners sits in quasi-judicial status, meaning that you would find facts, to conclusions of law, and issue a decision. Because of that, anyone would have an opportunity to comment on this application, but I need to ask if there's any effective resident, meaning someone that lives within 500 feet of the property, asking for party status. Party status would allow you the ability to go ahead and call witnesses or cross-examine witnesses that may be presented by Mr. Davis related to that. So again, if you're not requesting party status, meaning that you're beyond 500 feet or you don't feel like you need it, doesn't mean you can't comment. You can comment and the board will of course take that under advisement. Is anybody in the audience requesting party status that's within 500 feet of this? Okay. Okay, hearing none, then what I'm going to go ahead and do is mark some exhibits. T1 will be a copy of the advertisement of this public hearing and posting of this property. T2 will be the application for this submitted by Mr. Davis. T3 will be the original conditional use decision and the land development approval that was given at the same time or briefly afterwards. And T4 will be a copy of the reviews by our planning agencies, the APA here locally and the Montgomery County Planning Commission. So the township will go ahead and mark those exhibits and enter those into the record. And right now, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Davis.
Good evening, folks. Greg Davis with the Saul Ewing Law Firm. I'm here with Peter Pope from J.G. Petrucci Company, the applicant. I have some exhibit binders. Is it okay if I pass those out?
Sure.
Sure.
And we'll have those marked as applicant 1 or?
So I think they're A1 through A3
Got it.
on the binder.
Thank you.
There will be some duplication, and I'll go through, we'll talk about what those exhibits consist of here in just a second. Just go back over, so give you some background on the application. As Sean alluded to, the Board of Commissioners approved Petrucci's conditional use application for the station project at Davisville Road and York Road back in 2017, and later that same year approved a land development application for the project. And by way of this application, we're proposing to amend the conditional use approval to convert a 9,000 square foot space that back in 2017 was designated for medical office space. And as you'll hear from Peter, Petrucci went to great lengths to try to market that space and was unable to do so. And so it is now proposing to convert that space from 90,000 square feet of medical office to 10 apartment units. So there are 275 units currently in the station project. This would be 285. So it's an incremental increase. It's about a 3.6% increase. In the binders that I handed out, let me just quickly go through what's included in those. A1 is a copy of the application to amend the conditional use approval. Included in there is a deed of consolidation demonstrating that JERC Partners, the applicant, which is a Petrucci entity, owns the property on which the station project is located. And also in that A1 are, and this is part of what I was saying would be duplicative. We have a copy of the conditional use decision and the land development approval decision, the resolutions approving those applications from 2017. That's all A1. A2 is the slide presentation that Peter will walk you through here in just a moment. It shows the property of the apartment complex, the floor plan of the building, the floor plan showing the proposed conversion from the medical office space to apartments. And A3 is a copy of a March 5th review letter from, again, duplicative of Sean's exhibits. It's the March 5th review letter from the Montgomery County Planning Commission. And as you'll see, that's a 2-page letter. It doesn't offer any criticisms of the project. It generally talks about encouraging activation of streetscape activities in town centers. So, and as, again, Sean mentioned, the APA, the planning agency, last month recommended, unanimously recommended approval of this amendment to the conditional use application. So with that, unless there are any questions for me, I'd ask Peter to walk you through the slides. And I have a couple of questions for him. I don't know what the...
So why don't we swear Peter in?
Yep.
So you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Can you state your name and spell, please, for the board?
Peter Holt, spelled P as in Peter, O-L-T as in Tom.
Thank you.
And I'll just ask Peter some preliminary questions and then I'll get out of the way. Peter, you are an executive VP at J.G. Petrucci Company, is that right?
Yes.
And can you confirm that JERC Partners is a JGP, a Petrucci entity?
Correct.
And were you involved in the approvals process for the station project back in 2017?
Yes.
Including the conditional use application?
Yes.
And were you also involved in Petrucci's efforts to lease the medical office space on the second floor?
Yes.
Okay, and you prepared the presentation that we've included as Exhibit A2, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to step out of the way and let you walk the board through those slides.
Great. Good evening. My name is Peter Holt. I'm an executive vice president with J.G. Petrucci. I've been with the company about 17 years. I run our multifamily division, which consists of about 2,000 apartments in northern New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. The station at Willow Grove is a 275-unit mixed-use apartment complex consisting of about a 485-space parking garage, which I'm just go through this a little bit so I can get to a better picture. This is some before pictures, and this is after pictures. So the parking garage is in the upper left corner. The apartment units are what I kind of call this figure 8 building, about 275 units. And then the medical office building, which is the second and third floor, 18,000 square feet, with amenity space on the first floor, as far left of the page. There's a couple more pictures. This is a good shot of the medical office building. So the first floor, again, is about 9,000 square feet of amenity space, including a leasing office, mail room, active and passive features such as a gym, some exterior courtyards. Oh, perfect. Some exterior courtyards. And here's a couple pictures of our amenity space. This floor plan shows a little bit better the medical office space. This is the amenity space on the first floor. And then the medical office space on the second and third floors. We were very successful in leasing up the apartments. We were successful leasing one floor of the medical office space to Jefferson Hospital. We have now spent well over 5 years trying to lease the second floor and have been unsuccessful in all of our efforts. Our proposal is to convert that second floor to a mix of 6 one-bedroom apartments and 4 studio apartments. Same floor plans or similar floor plans to what we have in the main apartment complex. And we think that these will serve the community well. This is just a presentation on our EDUs. I think what Greg or I can attest to is we have more than enough parking because we'll be taking off 9,000 square feet of medical space for apartments. And we have more than enough EDUs to support these additional units. That's it.
Does the board have any questions for Peter? I just have a couple of follow-ups. So, Peter, on the parking, is it fair to say that the number of parking spaces that would be required if this remained medical office would be 30 spaces, whereas if it's converted to the apartment units, it would require 10 spaces?
I would say it's probably somewhere between 10 and 20 spaces total.
Okay, so I've got the ordinance as requiring 1 space per bedroom, so that's 10 spaces.
Correct.
Versus 1 for 300 square feet for office space.
Sure. I mean, we spend a lot of time in our communities measuring parking spaces, and we're somewhere around 1.5 spaces per unit, depending on mix. In this case, we have no 2 bedrooms, so 1 bedrooms and studios, typically, you have either 1 tenant, maybe 2 tenants at most.
Okay, and I think what I saw and understand to be the sanitary sewer requirements are that there would be required 12 EDUs if it remained medical office space, and 10, again, 1 per unit for the apartment units. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, and other than converting the proposed conversion of the second floor from medical office space to apartment units, is Petrucci or is JERC proposing any changes to the building or the property?
No, it will be all interior improvements.
Okay, and JERC previously satisfied all the conditions of conditional use approval?
Yes.
Okay, and nothing about this would change that?
No.
Those are all the questions I have for Peter.
Okay. I just have a couple questions. You said the 3rd floor is leased to Jefferson Hospital?
Correct.
Is that right? And how about the 1st floor?
The first floor is our amenity space, so
All the
leasing
way-
office
okay.
and amenity space.
Okay. And then you did allude to the parking, so I was wondering, how is the overall parking working out there?
We have more than enough parking spaces. We have, all of our parking spaces are monitored, numbered. We know where each tenant parks. I don't have the exact number, but given the fact that we had dedicated, I believe, 80-ish, maybe 90 spaces to the medical office space, we have more than enough parking.
And how about the train station parking that you allocated to the train station?
Yeah.
Does that get used?
Not really, no. And as you can see across the street, I mean, the parking at the train station is pretty sparse at this point.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Other commissioners or Pat, Township Manager?
I'm just wondering about your amenities, adding, I don't know, 10 or 20 more residents. Is the pool going to be big enough, or enough barbecues?
Yeah, I mean, we have indoor amenity space, we have over 9,000 square feet. Outdoor amenity space, we have an additional 10 to 15,000 square feet. We have a lot of amenity space for our community. We haven't seen any issues to date, and we wouldn't expect this to be an issue.
Anybody else?
Is the outside of the building going to remain pretty much the same?
Yes, I think we would, let's see, let me get back to some pictures of it. Nothing would change. I mean, maybe we would have a couple operable windows on that floor. But no, nothing else would change. We have to put a couple windows on the back portion that you really can't see, that's facing the parking garage.
Right.
But that's it.
Okay, thank you.
What is the current rental fee for an apartment in the building?
It ranges. The studios and 1-bedrooms range somewhere around $1,500 up to about $1,900.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, how about any community comments? Or questions? Okay.
Okay, if there were none, I'm suggesting, as
Okay, I make a motion to continue this public meeting, public hearing to May 5th at 7 o'clock. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Against? Okay,
Great. Thank
Can I
you.
ask a quick question about May 5th? Because there are 3 commissioners not here, should we be prepared? I will obviously be here that night. Should Peter prepare to come? Should we bring the presentation?
Probably, unfortunately, yeah. So what I will do is, we have a great court reporter here. He will, I'm sure, turn this transcript around pretty quickly. We will go ahead and email this out to the rest of the commissioners for them to review it, because of course they can participate if they review the transcript. And we'll see if there are any questions. We'll give you a heads up. But if there are, this doesn't seem like particularly controversial application.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, moving along. First, we met in executive session this evening before the meeting. And next, are there any public comments for non-agenda items?
Susan Worth-Lamanna, Ward 6, for the Upper Moreland Historical Commission. I'd just like to take a moment to thank the Police Benevolent Association, and particularly, is it Maureen Kunt? Do I have her name correct? K-U-N-D? Yes? Maureen, yes, I do. Okay, thank you. The Historical Commission has a brand-new sign. It's about a year in the ground, and we had asked if somebody would step forward to keep it looking particularly well-planted and landscaped, and the Police Benevolent Association did that, and I hear that she, in particular, did all that work, and if anybody is looking at our historical signs, I hope they are, that you will see the pansies that are growing, and the fact that she installed all of that. We thank her very much for that service to us.
Which signs are these? Where are they?
Pardon me, I'm sorry?
Which signs? Where are they located?
The sign that's located on this property is for the Manor of Moreland. It's the considered first sign, the established Manor of Moreland. So it's out there on our corner.
Got you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next, is there a motion to approve the treasurer's activity report?
I'll motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Were there any public comments on the treasurer's activity report? Okay, next, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes for March 3rd, 2025?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Are there any commissioner comments on the meetings? Meeting minutes? Public? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Against? Okay, they're approved. Next, committee recommendations, and first we have the Community Development Committee, Commissioner Skull.
Yeah, first item under code enforcement are the 3110 Davis Hill Road renovations. Mr. Stacia.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll give you some details. 3110 Davis Hill Road applied for an application to demolish the existing house and replace it with a new 3-story house elevated above the floodplain per our code. The house is on the historic registry, historic resource inventory. The owner was unaware of that when they made the application. Since that time, we've contacted the Historical Commission because they have 90 days to review the house and make a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners. There was a delay on the township's part. We contacted the commission, and Susan Worth-Lamanna and others from the commission really worked very, very quickly to document everything they needed for that house. I think it was last Friday and maybe even into Saturday. And we did receive an email from the Historical Commission recommending that the board move forward with allowing this homeowner to demolish the house. And that's the recommendation here. I do want to thank Susan for her hard efforts. We gave her 2 days' notice, and she worked very hard and gathered the commission to assist the township, which ultimately assists this resident who purchased this property. I would recommend we move forward with the Historic Commission's recommendation to let this project move forward. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. I make a motion.
I have a question. Why was it the decision to demolish the house?
It was the new homeowner. I think they recently purchased the house. I'm not sure exactly when. Susan spoke with them as well, so please.
I did go out and speak with the Lyashenkos, and yes, the house was sold. And when it was sold, we run into these issues, and I know Commissioner Skull knows all about this, where flipping and or other things have been done. This house it was built in 1840, and it required a lot of work on the basement. And when we went down, the basement is essentially jacked, stud jacks and floor jacks underneath, and that's what's really holding it up. So if you did a little physics, you would know that house is out of plumb and would require probably a rip down and reestablishment of the foundation. It was just something that sadly wasn't kept up over the years. And we don't have an authority over, that sort of thing. When people choose to do what they do, sometimes, it's out of our sight and out of our purview. So sadly, it's going to come down, and we wish it wouldn't, but here we are. So the family will build a new home, and they're very welcoming to us in terms of anything they should find in their digging that they would also, of course, be doing, that we would be able to look at it. And, we're taking only a window and some boards out of the building, essentially, to store them for historical purposes or reuse, frankly, maybe at the farmstead. So sad as it is, it will remain on the inventory, but it will be archived. We'll archive all of our homes that we've lost, one to fire and now one to demolition. Does that help?
Yeah, in my mind, this brings up a sensitive issue, though, which is the previous owner didn't disclose to the buyer that the house was on the inventory?
Apparently not. And I think that perhaps we need to speak more to that issue, but we have been looking, at real estate agents who are interested in historical homes to, reach out to them to help.
My point being is people are reluctant to put their house on the inventory. That's for that reason, that it may make it more difficult to sell. It wasn't disclosed. It makes me, so these people, did us a wrong, and it makes the issue more controversial.
Yes.
Anyway, it's a shame.
Yes, it will always be there, I'm afraid, where people feel a certain way about having their house on a historical commission. Should they want to be able to sell that house, they don't see it oftentimes as the plus that we see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember I thought it was the previous owner was on the historical commission at one point.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
A whole nother story.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Any other questions?
Thank you for all that information and for your quick work
Thank you, Commissioner.
reviewing the house.
Thank you all.
Any other community comments? Okay, I make a motion to remove 3110 Davisville Road from the Upper Moreland Historical Registry. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Okay, that passes. Commissioner Skull?
Yeah, next item is land development subdivision applications. I'm not aware there are any. I don't see any notes about it. I don't see any attachments. So.
Land development subdivisions are none.
Right. And the next zoning hearing board meeting is April 10th of 2025. Other items, motion to approve awarding a bid for the 2025 milling to James D. Morrissey.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any commissioner or township manager comments on this?
This is our annual award. We bid the project. This is the low bidder. I don't recall if it was the same low bidder as last year. Yes, it is. So this is something the township goes through every year. No other comments from them.
Okay, public?
Aye.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion passes.
Excuse me. Letter B, motion to approve awarding the bid for 2025 highway material to Eureka Stone Quarry. And that's another attachment, and this is another standard procedure every year.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any public comments? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Motion passes.
Okay, and then letter C, motion to approve ordinance 1762, vacating a portion of Helen Street.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Skull, any
Yeah.
comments?
We did discuss this in committee. As I recall,
Yep.
there's a paper street runs through somebody's backyard, and we want to take it off the record, essentially.
Any public comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion passes.
All right, and where am I here?
That's it.
That's it for community CDC.
Thank you.
And Parks and Rec?
Next on the agenda is Public Health and Safety Committee.
At this time, there's no issues to be before the board, bringing before the board.
Thank you, Commissioner Whiting. Next, Finance and Administration Committee, Commissioner Olszewski.
Thank you. First, for appointments and reappointments, we have the reappointment of Ken Hawthorne to the Police Pension Fund Committee for a term expiring March 13th, 2028.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any commissioner comments or public comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion passes.
All right, next is the reappointment of Barbara Tuck to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Council for a term expiring March 1st, 2028.
Is there a second?
I know Barbara Tuck very well. I highly recommend her.
Thank you. Any other commissioner or public comments? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion passes.
Okay, the third one is appointment of Margaret Whiting to the Human Relations Committee. To serve the remaining 3-year term, expires December 31st, 2025. I also know Margaret Whiting very well and highly recommend her.
I also know Margaret White. And I highly recommend her.
You said the right thing.
Is there a second? Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a new appointment. Thank you, Margaret Whiting, for stepping up. Any other commissioner or public comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion passes.
All right, and next is the list of bills payable, general fund checks, starting with check number 143759, ending check number 143994, for a total of $776,120.70. Escrow fund checks, starting with check number 9884, ending check number 9886, for a total of $5,088.50. And liquid fuel fund checks, beginning with check number 3181, ending with check number 3184, for a total of $19,909.69.
Is there a second on approval of those checks?
I just want to ask a question under general fund text. There's 14,900, that can't be right, under voids?
I think that's the check number.
Okay,
Right.
so it's one.
Just one check.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Any other commissioner or public comments? All those in favor of approving this checklist, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it's approved.
Okay, and the last item, motion to approve authorization to close the TD Bank account.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any commissioner or public comments? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
And that's it for Finance Administration.
Thank you. Next, Public and Recreation Committee, Commissioner Sculp.
Yes. The committee recommends the motion to approve the Farmhouse Park Spring House Architect recommendation. The spring house has been demolished and stabilized, and we're now moving on to make it the remaining building usable, or however to describe it, preserve it.
Yeah, it's looking good over there.
Pardon?
It's looking better. It's looking
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
Is there a second for this motion?
Second.
Okay, any other commissioner or public comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion's approved.
Okay, and the next one is a motion to approve Resolution R 2025-8, authorizing a grant submission for DCED funds. Resolution R 2025-8 for Woodlawn Park Phase 1 project. I don't know the details, Pat.
Sure. The township's interested in Parks and Rec Director Kate Kohler is interested in applying for $250,000 through DCED for a grant for Woodlawn Park renovation. We have over $1.5 million, or about $1.5 million in grants right now. Kate is interested in seeking another $250,000. The match would be $250,000. However, the township has already set aside funds to cover the construction of the park. So if we're awarded this grant, all we would be doing is reducing our costs by $250,000. So there's no additional financial commitment by the township.
Great. Is there a second?
Second.
Any other commissioner or public comments on this one? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion passes.
And that's it for Parks and Rec.
Thank you. And that's, any other commissioner comments? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.